I'm Lisa Barnes, and I'm the Vice President of Research and Development at LifeVantage. We have talked about activation in many ways, but we've put some words to it just to have some continuity. And we say that activation ignites your ability to create powerful health. But then to put it a little bit more in my words, activation involves tapping into your body's processes and systems that have slowed down, that may be from age or from stress or from other factors. And it allows them to return to a more efficient and youthful state. As your body ages, or once again, as you're faced with stress, your body's systems, your organs, your tissues, your cells, they all slow down and stop working as efficiently as when you were younger or before you faced that stress. So as a result, you may actually feel older than your actual age that's down on paper. Oxidative stress comes from many sources. It comes from our diet and what we're eating, breathing the air that we're breathing. It comes from exercise. I mean, everything that surrounds us causes oxidative stress to our body. This is completely normal. We're always going to face oxidative stress. But the problem comes when there's so much oxidative stress that our body cannot combat it. And then we just have this buildup of free radicals, causing damages to all of these systems, causing them to not work as efficiently as they did in the past. And that's one of the things, kind of transitioning a little bit, that made Nerf2, so our Protandim Nerf2 Synergizer, so powerful, is that one of the things that we need in our body, that our body does to combat free radicals, is it generates antioxidants, which actually neutralize those free radicals and prevent the damage that they cause. But as we have our free radicals increase because our oxidative stress increases, and as we get older and our systems slow down, so our antioxidant production slows down, we just have two systems that are working against each other, causing more and more damage. So we know that we're never going to be able to remove all of our stress sources. I have 3 kids. I don't always I try to eat the best I can. I try to exercise the best I can. I try to do everything I can, but I'm never going to be perfect. None of you are. And so what can we do? We can really help our body do its best. And how Nerf2 does that is by helping to activate your body's own antioxidant system so that you're able to combat the free radicals that are generated. And so it's not just supplementing with antioxidants, it's actually working with your body systems that have slowed down, so that definition of activation, and causing them to work more efficiently. So you're generating more antioxidants. So you have more people, more things in the fight against these free radicals. And also the fact that Protandim Nerf2 is backed by over 30 independent studies. And it's by institutions like Harvard, Ohio State, the American Journal of Physiology, and others. And so you don't just have to take our word for it. I mean, we're pretty trustworthy individuals. You can Google and just see these independent publications, and you can read them for yourself. You can see the studies that have been done, not by us, independently, showing this mechanism of action and the impacts of this product because of its lowering of oxidative stress.
The one thing that we know is that every single human on this planet is impacted negatively at some point in their life by oxidative stress. And everyone can benefit from reducing the free radicals and the damage that comes as a result of having those scavenger molecules in the body. And that is exactly what Nerf2 does.
Well, and one thing I love about Nerf2 as well is that the more we test it in combination with other products that we have in our product line, the more we see these beautiful synergies as well. So I think that supports it being the cornerstone that you add other products on top of, and you see these heightened benefits, these synergistic benefits. We've seen synergy with our Protandim NRF1 and NAD product, the NAD you mentioned earlier. We call the 3 products together TrueScience. And the reason we love selling these 3 products together is not just because they cover 3 pathways of aging. So you have oxidative stress, you have mitochondrial health, and you also have sirtuin health. But when you put these 3 together, all of the pathways are synergistically upregulated and activated. So if you have Nerf2 as your cornerstone, and then you start adding in our other products, the benefits just multiply.
Let's shift the conversation, if you will, and talk a little bit about collagen.
Everyone else in the market you're supplementing with collagen. It could be fish collagen, it could be bovine collagen, but they're supplements. It's good. You are losing collagen as you're getting older, and collagen is one of the most abundant proteins in your body that's found in all of your different systems. I mean, we think about it a lot with our skin, but it's found throughout our entire body. And so you lose it, you supplement it, okay, you see some benefits. But what makes our product, our TrueScience liquid collagen, so unique is that we not only supplement, we're actually activating, replenishing, and maintaining. And what I mean by that is we're activating collagen production. So we're actually activating a gene called 1A that then leads to the generation of collagen in cells called fibroblasts. And we've seen an increase of collagen density by 100% in fibroblasts. There's a cool little fluorescent image that we have compared to the placebo, where you see a fibroblast and you see its nucleus, and collagen is represented by green fluorescence. That's how they kind of quantify it. And so when you look at the placebo, you see the fibroblasts, you see the nucleus, and then you see maybe like 2 spots of green fluorescence. Not very much collagen is being generated. And then you see with our product, and you just see this field of green fluorescence in that fibroblast. And it's just incredible how it activates collagen. Then you go to replenish, and that's where you're adding in your collagen. So that's your supplementation piece. And we use fish collagen because it has 10 different types of hydrolyzed collagen peptides. The form of them is incredibly important because we need to make sure that the collagen that you're receiving is bioavailable for your body. And the molecular weight of your collagen is incredibly important in how your body actually incorporates it. Because if it's too large, your body has to go through a lot to be able to break it down into pieces that it can use. However, if we put it already, if you take it when it's in those right pieces, so that those hydrolyzed, so just essentially slices up the collagen peptide, your body can more easily intake it and you can see quicker results.
When we talk about hydrolyzed collagen and the fact that it's chopped up so that it's more bioavailable, like in my mind, I think of this concept of it's pre-digested so that it's easy.
Yes. Great. And that's actually one of my favorite analogies to talk about bioavailability is if you think of mother bird and a baby bird. And you don't see a mother bird bringing over to the new baby bird, a worm and just sticking it down in the baby's throat because the baby can't digest it. So the mother takes the worm, it pre-digests it, and then it feeds the baby the pre-digested worm so that or whatever the food is, so that the baby can get the nutrients it needs. And your body's the same way. It needs its nutrients in a form that it can recognize and it can incorporate. And that's what bioavailability is. And that's what hydrolyzed collagen is. It's in a form that's pre-digested so that it's primed for your body to uptake it efficiently.
Our collagen source is a marine source. Why marine, in your opinion?
I mean, the reason we chose marine is because of the profile of collagen that it had. It wasn't just one type of collagen, it was 10 types of collagen because your body the majority of it is collagen 1, but there are multiple types of collagen that it needs. And so we're providing it with kind of this buffet of collagen so that it's able to uptake what it needs. And they all have good purposes. They may be used for different things, but this allows for a very broad profile. So there's a wider benefits seen, in my opinion.
A minute ago, you mentioned in some of our testing, we have identified as far as activation, an increase in collagen density by 100%. Some of our viewers that have been with us for a while, that number is a little bit different, right? I think their condition hearing 42%, and now we're saying 100. Help us just clarify that
Definitely.
difference.
So the way that we measure everything is that first we look at gene expression, and that's where your 42% comes in. We see with using one of our key ingredients that's in our collagen red quinoa, you see an increase of the COL1A gene that leads to collagen. So it helps to activate collagen by 42%. So when you activate that by 42%, you see an 100% increase in actual collagen protein generated by the fibroblast. So we're essentially, it's two numbers, but they're just along the same pathway, different parts of the pathway, which
So,
it's very important to me because you are not only showing you activate a gene, which is fantastic, but you're showing the end result to prove that you're actually impacting what you were hoping to impact.
maybe just talk a little bit about ruby quinoa. That's one of the key ingredients that's in the formula.
So it's the ingredient that we have a lot of our collagen studies on. So it's in there to help increase collagen density. And it also is in there, and this is the part of the activate, replenish, maintain that I didn't get to, was the maintain piece. And what maintain means is that we're actually lowering the activation of a gene, MMP9, that encodes for an enzyme that breaks down collagen. And so beauty of red quinoa and this ruby quinoa is that it not only increases collagen density by activating all of these genes, and there's other structural proteins that it impacts as well. You have keratin, so that makes up your hair, skin, and nails. There's multiple types of keratins. It actually activates antioxidants as well. It's very powerful, but it's also kind of downregulating these genes and these enzymes that would break down collagen. So increasing and not breaking down as much so that you keep the collagen that you have. And another piece of our formula as well that we don't talk about as much is our blueberry citrus blend. And they are added in there because they also synergistically, so when they're put together, activate collagen as well. So we have two ingredients activating collagen, and then the quinoa takes that extra step to help maintain collagen as well. So essentially, what we've been hearing since we've launched liquid collagen is we have folks that have been on NRF2, and then they've added liquid collagen to their regimen. And we keep hearing all these stories. I mean, we've seen some fantastic before and after photos. That's kind of, we weren't expecting how great they would be, but we were expecting visual differences based on how the formula worked. But what we weren't expecting were all of these stories of testimonials beyond skin benefits. We've heard gut, joint, mental clarity. We've heard it all with these too. And when you hear it enough times, your science brain is going, there's a reason for this, but we really wanted to understand it. And so essentially what we decided to do was something called RNA sequencing. And I'm not going to go too much into what that is today, but essentially you look at a cell type and you look at the entire genome. So that's every gene that's expressed in the cell type. And you get this, when you do the test, you get 14,000 plus rows of data of every gene. So is it upregulated? Is it downregulated? Is it significant? Is it not? And it also, through different computer software, we can then group all those genes into pathways. So no longer are you just looking at individual genes, you see how they're all connected in a narrative and how they're all working together, which is incredibly exciting. So we chose this approach because we wanted to be a little bit surprised. We wanted to see everything that was going on in the cell types to really understand why these products were working so well together. And when we were looking at what cell type we wanted to choose, we chose fibroblasts. And I mentioned it very briefly earlier. And because some of the collagen studies were done with liquid collagen and ruby quinoa were done in fibroblast cells. Now, fibroblasts are found throughout the body, and their primary role is to provide support and structure to tissues throughout the body. And that's key, tissues and connective tissues throughout the body. And it looks different in different parts of the body. Now with liquid collagen, we've been just focusing on skin, so our dermal fibroblasts, but they're really located everywhere. And so that's why we chose them as our molecule, our cell type to test in, because we knew that if we saw gene activation in the cell type, we could think beyond skin, we could think to gut, we could think to joints, we could think to heart tissue, we could think to all the different connective tissues that fibroblasts would be found in, which made it the perfect cell type to perform this study in. I'm not going to go too much into what the details are, but NRF2 performed beautifully, just as expected. Fantastic activation of NRF2 pathways. Liquid collagen, we saw some of what we expected, structural proteins, collagen, all those pathways. But then we started seeing some genes associated with the body's stress response, which was incredibly interesting. But what was even better was when we put the two together, there was this huge jump in the expression, synergistic jump, significant jump in genes associated with the body's response to stress. It impacts every system throughout the body. It's been so surprising, so game-changing, and it explains so much of the beyond skin testimonials that we've received.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us.